High school is one of the most unique and memorable.
Alright, so I'm about to be watching this TommyNFG video. Shout out him. I'll put the link of the video in the description. I'm gonna be watching this video about high school. Let's go.
High school is one of the most unique and memorable times of your life. If you're on the lucky side, you end up with a sane mind, not scarred from any experiences, graduating and get to go to the school of your dreams. If you're not so lucky, well, there's a lot of outcomes. You end up as a just put the fries in the bag guy. You end up with 3 kids with someone you pinky promised in the 9th grade that you would love for life, and now you're fighting over custody of who gets to keep the kids. It sounds crazy, but I've seen it happen. But something I've been thinking of.
Yeah, a lot of the dudes at my high school, a lot of people said they're going to like work and stuff. They're not even trying to go to college. They're just gonna find a job somewhere and make, I guess. I don't know.
As it hits 3 years for next year since I graduated, is how wrong of a dream I was sold into when I was younger. When you're in elementary school and middle school, man oh man, is that ambition of high school at its peak.
You
And I
can't
gotta
stop the
blame
A
all the
train.
TV, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon shows that led me up to those moments. I feel like every kid's introduction to the fantasy high school experience was High School Musical. I remember when I was younger seeing
Man, these high school shows and movies, they were somewhat realistic, but half the stuff in the movies and shows that didn't go on in real school. They made the TV shows more interesting than actual school half the time.
it and thinking, wow, all high school is just dancing on tables and having some cool drama
Exactly,
with your
just having
friends.
fun.
Awesome! I really thought as soon as I entered the facility, we was gonna start dancing on the spot. I never took a dance class, but I thought I would just learn automatically by walking into school. Like, I want to understand the reason why there was so much dancing in high school shows. Nowadays, the shows are more drama focused and I don't see it happen a lot. But before, they were finding reasons to start breakdancing randomly. Oh man, stage 4 brain cancer isn't for the weak. I probably won't even make it to graduation.
Stage 4 brain cancer, pops into a dance at the hospital.
Don't worry, Billy. As you know what we always say, if you have cancer today, call us dancers to save the day. Ain't no one had that type of energy at 7 a.m. in the morning. Like, were y'all up till 6 just practicing the routine before you got in the school? Or did everyone perfectly
Man, we got to school at 7 in the morning. I don't know how the people had energy. I didn't even want to be there, man. I was just sitting in the cafeteria waiting to go to class. Like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home.
naturally aligned to do the exact same dances at the exact same time? Ugh, Tommy, it's just a show. Shut up and answer the question. It's also funny looking back at the shows because you could tell when they couldn't find someone young to play the role. The victorious ones were the most
They be having
hilarious
grown men
because
up
it would
there.
be so obvious it wasn't a teenager. Like, they don't even hide it. Who is this grown ass with a full
Exactly.
beard? He looks like he got a clock in the warehouse job in about 10 minutes. And do you notice anything about this scene? Only that somebody's mother got put in as the actor instead of them. Like, lady, this weak ass bow tie isn't making you look any younger. I refuse to believe they couldn't find someone at a younger age in Hollywood, the place of actors, to simply be a background character and mumble some words. They just felt lazy and didn't feel like paying them like they do to their writers.
Yeah, I saw some clip. I think it's like All American. And they were like, there's no way these were people like children days or high schoolers age. They had a whole bunch of grown men with beards looking like they on the college football team on the high school team, man.
It's also weird to me how none of the characters get dress coded on anything. And oh boy, do they need some dress coding. Never mind Victorious. Euphoria is like Victorious, but if Dan Schneider could actually write his
Euphoria was
thoughts down.
wild.
Who was letting these high schoolers walk around in these itty bitty fits without a word from the faculty?
I don't know.
I
Sydney
remember
Sweeney fine
in
though. I
my
ain't
high
even gonna
school
lie.
getting dress coded for things like even having headphones too big. You walked around and they had a chance at calling you out for anything. The more older you get, the more you realize how weird it is that grown men probably in their 40s and 50s are setting up these scenes in this fictional high school scenario. We know who one of the directors of this story is, so it kind of makes sense. Like, at least in the older shows, it wouldn't be as overtly sexual with the characters. But now it's like the Hollywood writers don't even hide their predatorness. But back to Victorious. Another thing Victorious made me look forward to was lockers for some reason. They used to make lockers look like a necessity to your time in.
Man, in middle school we had lockers for like 1 year. When I got to high school, if you wanted a locker, you had to pay for it, and nobody paid for that mess. We didn't even use our lockers, man.
In high school, people would have their in shows dripped out in anything, and especially in Victorious. Like, how are they even getting these locker designs approved by the school? Somebody could have taped a gun to their locker as an aesthetic, and the faculty probably wouldn't even care. I don't even remember the times I used my locker when I was in school. It could just be because my school was really ghetto, and you know, people just broke your locker at random times for fun. Like, okay, I'm not giving any criminal advice, YouTube, just to make sure, but a lot of the old lockers, you could really just use a credit card and swipe that and just open it. But regardless, the image they make of the locker experience is so big for no reason. In a show, I'll see them casually hanging out at their lockers the whole time just talking, like, y'all don't got class.
Yeah, who had time to sit at a locker? We had like 3-4 minutes in between class. We had time to just sit in the hallway and talk. That was them people that always came in late. That's them people.
I wouldn't even have time to visit my locker in between my classes. How are y'all getting all this time? Time just slows down when they're at their lockers, I guess. One thing these shows do somewhat get right is the popular kids. Like, the popular kids tend to be the athletes and the sports players and the cheerleaders and whatnot. But what they don't talk about is the absolute downfall of these kids. At this point, we've all heard of peaking in high school, and it genuinely is one of the saddest things that can happen to you. Like, I'm glad I wasn't even close to the calibers of peaking, because
Man, I was watching Cobra Kai this week, and I got to thinking, them people, they peaked in high school because Tommy and Daniel LaRusso, not Tommy, Johnny. Johnny and Daniel LaRusso, they still stuck on stuff that happened in high school. They still beefing over that mess. It's crazy. Like, grow up, mature, and all that stuff. Come on, man.
after high school, seeing the downfall of kids that used to be at their top notch is just sad. All you see in these shows is how cool and great the experience is for the popular kids. Their cool little petty dramas between their friend groups and stuff. All the great parties they went to and through, which is
I didn't even go to a party in high school.
I was taught. I was thinking them parties was damn near gonna be at legendary levels, like celebrity parties. Not Diddy's, just want to clarify. And you probably end up thinking that in the moment, but in reality, it just ends up looking like the TikTok wrist party. Once these kids end up graduating and realize the whole world isn't in a single building, they can't take it anymore. I've seen dudes who were supposed to be star athletes end up at the warehouse job where they'll work the rest of their life. And that isn't a on
star athletes in school and don't end up doing that
at first. That's a lot of people's first type of job anyways. But I mean, when you was boasting saying you were gonna be better than everyone and acting at a higher ego, I'ma laugh at you. It's always the star athlete.
Yeah, them sports people acted like they were so much better than everybody else. They ain't even doing that. They weren't even that good. It's just everybody else want on that mess. Big fish in a small pond, man.
To have the worst downfalls. I don't know why. I guess they lose all ambition once they realize they're not making it to the league. And then we got the popular girls. It'll always be the girl that all the dudes wanted in school. After graduating a year later with 2 kids, ended up super fat and wanted to settle down right after that. Like, where's this side of the story, Victorious, Euphoria, Riverdale? Actually, I take that one back. Riverdale was never good. This TV you're telling us, I
didn't even try to watch Riverdale.
Help these kids by stopping the path they're heading to because it's not gonna be fun for them. It's rare I've seen someone's high school popularity translate to college because newsflash,
never seen it.
Is grown and no one cares. We got things to do. It's also funny in these shows how they treat certain positions in school like you need to get it or you failed at life. I don't know where the whole prom king and queen thing came from. Treating it like if you got it, you would become a part of the royal family.
I went to my prom, then people didn't even care about it. They were just there to be there. Prom king and queen happened. We didn't really care and went on about our day. Man, prom wasn't all that. Well, for me at least. I don't know about y'all.
There's always some super big drama leading up to it for some reason in shows. Like everything builds up straight to the moment of the dance where everything's either gonna get solved or get worse. Straight up crashing out and doing anything to get prom king or queen. They would throw their friend off a bridge if it meant they had a higher chance of getting it. But in reality, no one really gave a Okay, let me not act like no one did care. Some people did.
Somebody cared, but not a lot.
But it was mostly the popular kids and their clique or whatever that really prioritized it. Everyone else just wanted to have fun with their friends. And after that day, not a single person even mentioned it. Were you supposed to be carried to royalty or something after? Got lives to live. And it's the same thing with the school council image. In shows, they'll make school councils seem like Supreme Court when it comes to decisions. They determine the new building plans, where the budget for funds go, how much the teachers get paid, paid. When I was younger, I used to think they legit had the same power as the principal of the entire school the way it was portrayed.
In my student council, I didn't even know who the class president was until after I graduated and talked to her and she just mentioned that mess. I didn't know who was in charge of that mess.
These kids will market themselves like they were running for government positions. In reality, the school council absolutely has no power. It's really a position they give to a student to make the students feel like they have some type of power. And most of the time, it'll just be the popular kids running to fuel their ego. I remember I had a friend who was in the school council and told me they couldn't even pick where the senior trip was gonna be. But I'm not gonna lie, some people definitely did go out their way to make it seem more important than it actually was. I remember one girl told me she was really running to get experience because she wants to hold a political position in the future. And I guess she is holding some type of position
My student council girl, I think she's trying to be a lawyer or something, so that makes sense.
She's a stripper now. Weird path change of a career. Maybe she'll be our president in 2040, who knows? Another lie I always see on these shows too is the high school sweetheart thing. I was definitely one of those kids growing up that thought as soon as I got in high school, I was gonna find my girl for life. We were gonna be
Man, I went through the whole high school, didn't get a single girlfriend, man. I talked to a few, didn't end up being nothing. I don't know, man.
Showing off to all the school and end up with a picture-perfect family 10 years later. That's how it is in the shows. It has to be like that. You always have that token couple that's been together the whole show's time. They have an argument and the mystery gang has to solve the argument. But then you slowly realize that every single relationship is complete bull. Like, if you're in high school right now and sad because it seems like everyone is cuffed up together and you're not, I'm telling you right now that does not matter at all. My image of
doesn't
love
matter
died
whatsoever
as soon as I realized that all of it was a fabrication. High school relationships is the most immature and dumbest ever. It makes me glad I wasn't in one in high school because I know I would have done some trial that I would still be cringing at today. And I realized this when I was already in school. Like, I remember a couple broke up over someone following somebody else. I know one single couple from high school that's still together and that's it. And even if they are together until college, once they see a new set of people, it's GG's for the other person. Right then, it's just a competition of who's gonna break up first with the other one. It's like that meme of Andy throwing away Woody. Better they break up now than cheat on each other. A real relationship is when you actually have to take on adult responsibilities and balance it. So to wrap it up, all the shows that lied to me about this wonderful fantasy experience, you. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
Yeah, high school wasn't nothing for real. I mean, like, it was a good experience and all that, but the movies and stuff, they exaggerate the mess out of it. Most stuff going on in the movies and TV and all that, it didn't really happen like that. It's more watered down in reality. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment and subscribe if you like. And leave a like also. Thanks for watching.
Golly, do your thing.
I'm trying to get cash flow.